The average sale per customer.
Equal to.
Okay, and equal to
this I value divided by H value. I'm sorry, H
Equals
value.
to average of those cell range.
Sorry, the average of the cell range.
Yes, sir.
No, I want the average sale per customer. So average sale per customer would be my net sales from this generally divided by how many customers I had.
Yes.
Right?
Let's say by divided number of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Customer.
So this is what my average. So now my question to you guys is, you just calculated this very rightly, right? Now just tell me that what will I do? Would I just go on copying this formula to the whole cell?
We have to just drag it down.
Yeah, drag down and it will copy automatically.
So you mean that I'll just go here and I'll drag this down. Is it so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you say ki I go here, I drag it down and it will copy. Correct? You're absolutely right. I'll just drag it down and I'll copy. But what happens when I have to copy this data to a 20,000 below cell? How much time would it take me to drag it?
Then by using formula, you can directly do this.
Sorry.
That number of serial number multiply that sale multiply by that what is that rows.
Okay.
By using that formula, you can do it directly.
Yeah, that could be another. I just wanted to give you a very simple shortcut, which is called as duplicate. Okay. So what are duplicate? I'll just write it down here. It's all about time here, right? So when we are studying Excel, the very first thing that we need to be clear in our minds is we don't have much time. We need to do things quickly, and for that we need to know shortcuts. Okay, so the very first shortcut that we know is cut, copy, and paste. This is very basic shortcut. Then we have, if you see your control keys and your shift keys on your laptops, on your devices. So when you are at the top and you press control and down arrow key, you get to the last cell. Okay, when you press control and the up arrow key, you come to the top. When you press both control, shift and down arrow key, you select the whole range. This can also be done by pressing a shift and a space, which will select the whole row, or pressing a control and a space, which will select the whole column. So now I have used my formula here. This is quite clear that I have my formula here now. So I'll go to the next, because if I do this control and down arrow key here, it will take me to the last cell of the Excel, which is 1048576, right? So I need to go to the profit and loss column, go control and down, come back here, control shift and up, and just press D, and I'm done. Right?
Can you please repeat the steps, please?
Yeah. So what I need to do is, I need to duplicate this whole formula to the whole cells. So I, first of all, what should be my steps? My steps should be, in order to duplicate, I need to reach the last cell, correct? Then I need to select the whole range, and then I need to duplicate. Okay. These are the things that I need to do. Yeah. So what I will do is I'll go to just the column which is adjacent to my formula column. I'll press a control. So to reach the last cell, I'll press control and down arrow key. Okay. Control and down arrow key. And then I'll press control, shift, up arrow key. And then I'll press control and D. This will duplicate. This is the formula for duplicate. So what I am doing is I'm pressing a control and a down arrow key, which takes me to the last cell. I just come back to the jth column. I press control, shift, and the up arrow key, which takes me to the first cell where the formula is written, and I press control and D. And I have my data filled in all the column. Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir, it's clear now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is what duplication can do. And without this also you can do it, which is much more simpler to do, is this. Can anybody tell what I just did?
Just double tap.
Just double tap this. This is called as fill. This point here, na? This point here is called as fill. So this point, what it does is it fills the whole thing till the last present adjacent adjacent cell. So I just go here and just press a double click here, and whole of my formula gets pasted down. This is much more simpler than what we did. So everything has a best way to do in Excel, right? So and then very importantly, you need to do, when you are dealing with a complex thing in Excel, just remember that whenever you have applied a formula and you're going to send that sheet to somebody else, just paste it as a special thing. Now the formula should not be here. I just did this calculation, select all of it, copy this thing and paste it as special. Either you can go here, paste, and paste as special. Yeah, you can paste it as a special thing. Okay, or just paste it as a special value. So alt, you can use alt when you have pasted it, you can use alt, E, S, and V. So paste it as a special value. So when I press enter, now the formula gets overwritten. Now I just have the value entries. Okay. So this is how you calculate the things. Now this was what we call it as duplication of the cells. Now we were talking about the things which was, let's say I need to get into my profits are here. I just did a average customer size thing. Now what I'll do is what we can do is we can analyze from this data is that sorry, I should be knowing if I'm just showing you a very basic thing. If right? So how you write data formula is you just write if and press a tab key. The tab key on your keyboards, press the tab key. It says if the logical test condition. What is my test condition that I want to check? So if I want to check if this is greater than how much? If it is greater than 2000, all right. Value if true. What do I want to show when if it is true? I want to show it as true, else I want to show it as false, and I just close it and I press enter. So if the value is there, it will show me as true, and else it will show it as false. Now this was when we used a if condition, right? We used an if condition here. If the value is greater than 2000, show me a true value, and else show me a false. Now we will show you a not condition. So what not does is not will just reciprocate whatever is here. So I'll just have to put in as O equal to not, and what is the logical condition? Whatever the condition is here, right? And I just close it. So if it is true, it will show me as false. If it is false, it is just negate it and show me as true. Okay. So this is the conditions that we can use. Okay. Now, after this, very, very important function is there. Yeah. If we go into this formula tab and we see what formulas we have auto sum, we have financial, financial, you will have couple by days, you have dollar, you have FE schedule, interest rate, depending on what you want to do with these formulas. You have logical formulas as and, false, if error, XOR, text formulas. Okay, yeah. I'll show you another formula which is called as, let's say I had this row again here. The salesman is there, and I wanted to have salesman last name, right? I'll just put up some random last names. Okay, I'll put up my own. I'll give it some. Just give me some last names. I'll just put it up like these. Okay. So if I want to get a full name, sometimes when you are working in your academic registers, you have last name, first name separated. So you can just add those two names, those two rows. So it can be done as with a function which is known as concatenate. So this concatenate function would concatenate two columns. So what concatenate does is, I need to get a text string one. You can do it with n number of, this. Now I'll use again a call and I'll press enter. It gave me Ravi Cole and I filled this. Right? I have the whole name here. Now, can you just tell me what happened wrong here?
There is no space between the names.
Yeah, there is no space between the names. So how can I add a space?
Concatenate bracket E2 space with 2 colons, comma, again F2. Close the bracket.
Great. So what I'll do is I'll put up a blank letter in between. So this will tell the logical unit of the system that name has to be followed with a blank space, and then it has to be followed with, just a second, I didn't put up a space here. Yeah. And then I can do this. Yeah, better. Okay, so this is another functions. So in Excel, you can have n number of such functions. It depends on what your usage is. Okay, what your usage is, what function or what things you want to do with that. You can choose as per your need. Now, let me get another thing here. Yep, here we go. You have trigonometric formulas, you have statistical, you can just go and explore one after the other, and it depends on what analysis you are doing. You can have average, statistical averages, lookups and references. So now what I am going to show you is very important. Lookups. Okay. So have you heard about this thing called as Vlookup?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have heard this thing called as Vlookup. And this Vlookup, anybody else who has used it?
Yeah, I used to use.
Okay. So what can a Vlookup do for me?
We can map the data one sheet to another sheet with a specific common number.
Okay. So can I just move the data within the same sheet also?
No, I used to do the different sheet only, not in the same sheet.
Yeah. What happened? Why did I ask this? Can we move it to the different sheet? Because whenever we study this lookups and all, in most of the definitions that are available, we give a definition as VLOOKUP is a function that is used to copy a data from one sheet to another sheet against a single ID. Right? We just say it like this.
Yes.
Yes. So it looks for exact match, and you can retrieve data based on your needs. Yes. For an exact match, we have another function called as match. So you have match function there, lookup value, lookup array, and match type. You can use that also. So you can use lookups very easily in the same sheet also. So that let's say I just wanted to know that, okay, I just wanted to know how much sale did I make on 9th of, I just want to know how much sale. I'll just put up here date. So we are just creating an automation system, a very small automation system, right? We'll get a date, net sales, and profit. Okay. So what I intended to do using a VLOOKUP here is I just want to, just a sec. Yeah. So what I just intend to do here is I just want that I'll put up a date here, and it should tell me, the system should tell me that what my net sales for that particular date and the profit was, the profit or loss, whatever I made there. Okay. So how can I do it? How can I just do this? Anybody who has used it before? Come on, you can speak up. There's nothing. The Excel is such bad that it can go haywire anywhere. So you can be just blunt and tell me that what was this thing. Yeah. So before we move on, I'll tell you VLOOKUP once. What VLOOKUP once is. So what VLOOKUP wants is it has to have a lookup value, the value that it will look up to, a table array, right? A column index number and a range lookup. I'll make it very simpler for you. So what I want here is I want to look up. I want to look up to something that is called as a date, comma. I want to see what my things would be, how big my array would be, right? I just want to see. I've just chosen B2. I want to select my array. And I want to know which column I would be in. So I am currently in which column? What would be my column number? I am the 9th column number. So I want my 8th column number to be showcasted to me. Okay. What did I do? I have entered too many arguments. Okay. Let me just see where's my function. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just a second. I have to put up it in here. Is equal to VLOOKUP. And I look up for what? What should I look up for? What should I look up? A date. Okay, I put up a date here. And then,
Net sales.
okay, I want some cells that I should be dealing with. Okay, I took up those cells and then. Sorry?
What you want to retrieve in that column?
Okay,
That's
so
it.
I want to retrieve my 8th column and then I put up a 0, right? Is it absolutely correct? See? Is it correct?
No, sir.
No. So why it is not correct?
Because we require date to fetch the data and it is in the net sales cell.
Sorry. We require, so what you want me to do is I should do this to here. Is it something like this you want me to do? Or you want me to write this whole formula from here to here? Is this what you meant? Did you mean this?
No, actually.
Then come on.
To start with VLOOKUP and date what you're searching for, and then when you're searching, the array should start with from the date where you're searching the
Yeah.
entire Excel, and then third will be which column you want to retrieve from the date, like
Okay.
second column or third column, like that.
Yeah. So what should I do here? You
Sir,
say
we should enter the formula at date, that is L4.
let's say we enter the formula here. Let's say what is the formula? Equal to Vlookup, right? Then
The date which you want to retrieve the data.
okay, I'll go 1st of January.
And then start from the date column.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, a lot of noise is there at my place, so
No issues. Yeah. So I should put up a comma first. I need a table array now. Where should I go?
it should start from the date.
It should start from the date. And should I select the whole table then?
From the date till what, like you want to retrieve, we want to retrieve till the net
Yes.
profit and loss. So
Okay.
till that,
So
the entire data.
yeah, correct. Is it correct?
Yes.
Then I again put up a comma, and which data I want is in the 8th cell.
Date.
I want this.
First column.
The first column. I should put up a first column here.
One. Yeah, column 1.
Okay. Then a 0. Is it like this?
I think it should be fine, but first January, is it there in the date sheet? That's all.
Let's see. So yeah, it gave me a date. Correct. It gave me a date. So, okay, you say I'll just put up a data. Yeah. Okay. So this gave me a date. Then what should I do?
Go to next cell and copy the same. Instead of first column, we should copy, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's 8. It's 8.
One.
It's 8.
Yeah.
8 one. Yeah. I should copy as 8. Okay. It will give me a net sale, and I should again copy a 9th one, and it should give me a this thing. Is it correct now? Is it correct? Are we doing it right? Anybody? It's showing me that Friday. Let me just also help you with this. I'll one number format. I'll put it in the same format. Okay. So it's showing me 1st Jan. This is correct. So what's wrong with this? Yeah, it looks correct. Narmada says it looks correct. Is it? Anybody else who has any inputs on this? Anything from anybody? Okay. So what was our intention to do? What we wanted to create? We wanted to create something which I can put up here the dates, and I should get the net sales and profit. Is it that?
Yes, sir.
So now if I just change the date here, let's say I put up 4th Jan 21. It is 21. 4th Jan 21. Why did this data not change?
Sir, in the formula, it was only B2. We should have selected the entire date range. That is from B2 to B201.
Okay. So technically, I selected this, right? So what mistake, the very first mistake that we made, and I was just expecting somebody to tell me this, what mistake we made, we wrote up this formula very correct. There is nothing wrong in this formula, but this formula is applicable to this cell range, the B range. What we wanted here was a bit of a complex formula, which should pick date from here. Yes, the date should be picked up from here. So if it is 4th Jan, I need to get the data corresponding to 4th Jan. These two datas, right? And what I picked is, I picked up a data that is present in the pth cell, and I showed data corresponding to that. So no matter what I change in here, there is nothing going to happen on the two cells. So what changes do I need to make? Firstly, are we clear with? Yeah, sorry. Somebody.
Yeah, this is Sunil Saxena here. Can I give you the formula?
Yeah, please.
Okay, great. So, I mean, the date where you have typed 4th Jan, that cell is a lookup cell, right?
Yeah.
So, based on this, it has to go to the database and pick the corresponding value.
Exactly.
So, if you just go down to net sales and if you just press F2.
I'll press F2.
Just go down below net sales.
I'll go, okay. I'll go below net sales.
Now just say equal to Vlookup.
Okay, I'll just pick up Vlookup.
Okay. And on the left hand side, that is I5, that becomes your lookup cell. So whatever changes you do there, it will get reflected there, comma.
Okay, comma.
Select the entire database without choosing the heading.
Yeah, I'll select the entire database without choosing
starting from date. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then just press the F4 functions key so that it becomes absolute.
Okay, I pressed it. It becomes absolute.
Great. Comma. And you want to pick up the net sales. So net sales is which cell over there?
It's 8. It's 8. 8.
So just put 8.
Yeah.
Comma. Yeah. And exact. It should be
an exact match.
False.
So it's a 0. Yeah.
False. Yeah, it is 0. Yeah. Enter.
Yeah. So enter.
Now if you change any date there on the left hand side,
you say here,
date.
Right?
Yeah.
So let me just go here and paste this date here and press an enter.
Just press F2 function key where it is white showing not applicable. Is it picking up the right date? We have selected the entire sheet and 8 net sales is 8.
Yes, net sales is 8. Yeah, it's 8.
8, 0. Or can you just type true, false over there? FALSE.
Yeah, that should not make any difference.
That should not make any difference. Okay.
Yeah.
Not applicable. So it's still not able to look
fetch the date.
Just can we take the same format, because somewhere the formatting is giving trouble.
Okay, so we need to take the same format.
Just give it a try there. Yeah.
Sure. we will take the same format. The format is here. 12th March 12th. It's the same format. Let me do one thing. I'll take the same format here. No, still the same.
Any not applicable. So that means it's not able to understand the date.
Correct.
It's giving that any.
Correct.
Otherwise, the command is perfect. So there's nothing.
Command is. I'm saying this function, these are all correct. You just made it at absolute. Rest all is
The
equally
only
fine.
reason to make it absolute is tomorrow when I copy the cell address.
The cell address should not get. Yes.
Database will not change.
Yeah.
So
to make it
happy.
absolute.
Just एक बार database check कीजिए ना. Just press F2 function key on NA.
On NA, I'll press F2.
So have we selected the entire database? So A2.
Yes.
And we made it absolute. And and the first cell should be the lookup cell. That is also perfect.
Yeah. So anybody who can just see what is here, what is wrong here? Anybody of you?
So can we change the first command, that is from I2 to L2?
1 second. I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this. So this is, I'll say this is Sunil's formula, right? So I'll just paste the next one here, what he wants to do. What you want me to do is, I'll just change it to L, right?
L2, sir, instead of I2.
Yeah. I'll change it to L2 instead of I2, and I press enter, and it is again. So
what he's saying is correct. See, can you come back to my formula?
Yeah, please.
And here, see, the lookup cell, what have we given as L2, right?
Yeah.
L2 is not there. It should be 0421 is L5.
So you mean this
lookup cell is L5. That's why it was going wrong.
It is L5. Okay.
Then also it's coming wrong.
Why?
Somewhere the formats issues are L5.
There is no format issue. पूरा formula ठीक है. I can assure you that. क्या है ऐसा जो हम लोग मिस कर रहे हैं?
See, the lookup value is all perfect.
The lookup formula is totally correct. You can take my words for that. That is correct. You're just missing a basic detail in here.
See, usually what we do is the dates have to be in the first row always, because we are taking that as a lookup. But now that is also perfect because we have not selected the serial number there.
Correct.
That is also perfect.
I think we are missing one colon.
Colon?
Sorry?
Range ka?
You're saying a semicolon?
Yeah, I think so.
No. The formula is totally correct. Formula you can take my guarantee that it is correct. You are doing a mistake which is logical. Very simple logical thing is there. We can drill our brains into this, but this is very basic that we are missing out. Value 0. Harshit is writing value 0. Where? In place of false. Is it that what you mean? That's one and the same thing.
That's okay. That's
one and the same thing. Yeah. I'm saying there is nothing wrong in the formula. There is just one thing which is wrong here is the logical interpretation of the lookup. Okay. So because we are also short in time, we have just 15 minutes. Let's just understand. What VLOOKUP does is basic definition of VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP checks up one value from one column range and then it puts up that, compares it to a other sheet, right? And then it fetches out the data from the database, right? Is that what VLOOKUP does? We have a value that we compare to some database, right? It can be a serial number, date, or whatever. Isn't it like that?
Yes.
Okay. So here what we were doing wrong is you are finding a person that never exists, right? You are making up formulas in net sales column and you are taking up dates from this area. When we want to take the date in here.
Yes.
Right. So the first thing that we are doing wrong is whatever changes, this formula is totally correct. For 4th Gen, it is showing me 2392. For 4th Gen, it is showing me 2392. One second. Okay, so it was basically made on first. So first it is showing me 2392 and 4533, which is totally correct. But whenever I change the date here, it does not impact because there is no formula based on that, right? So the basic thing is that I have applied a VLOOKUP here, which takes up a range to this, right? And gives me a result. Is it okay? I take date as 1st Jan, which is B2, and then I select the whole table as B2 to J201, and then I put up the 8th column, and then I put up a false value. So it gives me the correct thing. And same I do here. It's working fine. But since I am taking dates from here, I'm not able to have any control on my net sales and profit figures using this date column. Is it fine?
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do is that I should be able to change the dates in the in the Lth column, and the data should change here. So this is my question, that how can we do it?
So there you can put the lookup value to be L4. Your
the lookup
first
value. Yeah, you want me to put up my value
L4.
here as L4. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So it gives me 1535. So when I now change this value to what?
Change it to any
1st Jan 21. It gives me. Is it correct now?
This is fine. The lookup value.
Yeah. So what all wrong thing we were doing is that we were finding somebody who didn't exist. Right?
Okay.
So the lookup that should have been put up here, we just put it up here.
The same thing with your profit and loss.
Yeah, and the same thing we just copy it to the profit and loss, and it'll work. I just have to put it in here. Right? So now whenever you change your dates, it'll never have any impact. If I want 22 Jan, I can get my figures. Okay? So this is how simple it can be, and how simple how complex a simple thing can get in Excel. So it's just about sticking to the basics when we are dealing with Excel. So today we'll end up our session on the lookup thing, and tomorrow we'll take up the pivot tables. We'll analyze the pivot tables, and we'll get a brief of Google Analytics also. That what Google Analytics is. Has anybody of you worked on Google Analytics before?
Some basic knowledge only, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just see what basics there are in Google Analytics. How can we analyze a thing from Google Analytics and all. So any questions till this point? Okay. Anybody who has to add up or just any doubts? All right. So even if you have any doubts, you can just drop it in the group or just drop it to me directly. Right. I'll also put up my LinkedIn link in the group so that if you have any questions or anything that you want to ask, you can directly drop me a message there and I'll reply you all. Okay, guys?
That's good.
So tomorrow we'll again start up at 3 and we'll move ahead from here only. Right?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. And you can just log off now. Thank you. Take care. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.